Nobody was hollering when the buses were coming down from Halifax with busloads of homeless people, drugs. The city paying for the bus tickets to be dropped off here at Bridgewater, wherever else, to move them around. It's time that we take a hard stance.
The suggestion here is that if a city cannot deal with homeless people, it just puts them on a bus and sends them elsewhere. Out of sight, out of mind. I've heard this suggested for years in the CBRM, and it came up again during the meeting. Here's another clip.
Other homeless people are being shipped here by buses. We have enough homeless in our own town. We don't need other people from other provinces or up in Halifax or Quebec or Ontario. We need to deal with our own homeless that are from Cape Breton.
And I'm not arguing with you, I agree with you. But we as a municipal council don't have that authority.
I was never sure if this was an urban myth or actual policy. It's interesting here to see that Mayor Clark says, "I agree with you." He doesn't refute that the practice occurs, but also doesn't expressly indicate which part of her statement he agrees with. I did not see indication of pushback from the panel on this suggestion that it occurs. The Downtown Sydney Committee explicitly addressed this question in the frequently asked questions of their website, and they say no. No, people are not being bused from Halifax. This is a rumor circulated periodically when we don't want to take responsibility for those among us who are struggling, when we want to shift the blame to someone else and look away. I'll include the link in the post so you can read the full statement and explore the information on the website. One of the first things to do when unsure about suggestions like these is to find out if there is precedent. While this article from the Globe and Mail is old, it discusses the idea of Greyhound Therapy and relates it to Starlight Tours, which specifically involve Indigenous people. Advocates for the mentally ill and homeless have noted, and decried, the insidious practice for decades. Dubbed Greyhound Therapy, the custom has been documented across Canada and the United States, communities buying one-way tickets out of town for their troublemakers. The article is not particularly comprehensive, but it does also provide an alternative explanation, suggesting that people from rural areas may need transport to areas with more resources. This is consistent with the refutation provided by the Sydney Downtown Committee. We could think of this analogously as one of us needing a medical procedure, such as a surgery, that is only available in Halifax, and having to commute there to seek that care. If the practice were happening here in the CBRM, a more calculated question, rather than just accepting the idea that a city rounds up the folks it doesn't want to deal with and ships them out on a bus, would be to ask, if there is anyone sending homeless people to the Sydney area, are they making sure that there is actual capacity to do so? And are local organizations aware of it, consulted, and asked for permission based on availability of resources before doing so? If our homeless shelter is over capacity, someone could not be sent here to claim a vacancy that doesn't exist. Although it's not unfathomable to believe that it could be done, it is unlikely that it would be consistent with modern values to send someone to another place where there aren't enough resources, but you might have a better chance there than here. When we book a surgery in Halifax, we only go when there is a scheduled appointment. We don't just wait there on standby. I would have liked the panel to address this claim specifically on the record. One thing that will not be helpful in this challenge we're facing is spending time on problems or component factors that don't exist. I'm not suggesting that this doesn't happen. I'm suggesting that the meeting provided an opportunity for someone to clarify, and I do not feel as if they did so. Should we take the mayor's comments as confirmation, or was he just avoiding debating the veracity of the claim with someone very upset and with the live stream rolling? Let me know your thoughts. I would like to hear comments from people that can offer evidence that this specific practice exists.